Good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 State of the City presented by the City of Montebello and the Montebello Chamber of Commerce. I'm Ani Minasian, the President and CEO of the Montebello Chamber, and it's my honor to introduce this annual event, which for the first time, because of the unusual circumstances we find ourselves in, is being presented completely online. 2020 has been a challenging year for everyone, and yet this year the city has a lot of positive developments to share, and we're excited for you to hear about all of that this afternoon. Today's presentation is made possible by the generous sponsorships from our community partners, and normally we would be thanking them right now for their support, but because of a logistical issue, we'll be acknowledging them all after the mayor's address, so please stay tuned for the entire program. A recording of this event will be posted on the Chamber's Facebook page, and I believe on the city's Facebook page as well, so you'll be able to share with friends and family after the event is completed. If you pre-registered for this event, you'll also receive links to the recordings once they've been published. So let's get right to it. Here's our Mayor Salvador Melendez and the 2020 State of the City Address.
Welcome to the 2020 State of the City Address. This event is brought to you by the Montebello Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the City of Montebello, thanks to the generous support of many donors and our presenting sponsor, Chevron.
Hello, I am Salvador Melendez, Mayor of the City of Montebello. Thank you for taking the time to learn about your city. We appreciate the Montebello Chamber of Commerce for their support and allowing me this opportunity to share the many exciting and positive updates in this 2020 State of the City update. All of us have been affected by the challenges that have impacted our daily lives this past year. Despite the uncertainty and frustrations created by these challenges, Montebello continues to radiate hope and demonstrate its ability to thrive through the spirit of our residents and businesses. Today, I want to acknowledge and share many significant milestones and accomplishments that have been achieved in 2020 and recognize that there's more to do, but we are clearly up to the challenge. Your city leadership is committed to continuing positive momentum while maintaining fiscal responsibility through informed decisions and actions. Unfortunately, we must all continue to ensure the safety and well-being of one another throughout this pandemic. Today's theme will focus on robust actions that the city has undertaken to move Montebello ahead. These actions include our response to COVID, fiscal responsibility, economic vibrancy, identifying capital improvement projects, and expansion of our public affairs efforts and addressing of quality of life issues. I am optimistic and confident as we pursue our future goals. Last March, each of our lives changed with the adoption of the state, county, and local stay-at-home orders. The city took immediate actions in response to COVID that included closing our public facilities, providing personal protective equipment to all city staff, deep cleaning and sanitizing of city facilities, buses, and public safety vehicles, the installation of protective barriers in buses, front counter reception areas, and other public interaction areas, the creation of a food insecurity home delivery program for seniors and families in need. We coordinated food banks with community and regional partners, and we also launched COVID small business assistance resources. We adopted the al fresco dining program to allow our restaurants the opportunity to serve customers safely outdoors. City Council also approved the pandemic parking fine relief program. We also provide food and essential items in security grants to MAOF, Hearts of Compassion, and YMCA. We implemented a community hotline offering information and referrals for COVID-related relief. And in partnership with the Los Angeles County Department of Health Services, we established a city hall as a COVID-19 testing location until the end of this year. We launched a fully digital business licensing process online, activated the Emergency Operations Center and Quarantine Center for public safety staff. And we continue to host live feed, socially distanced city council meetings from City Hall. We established a COVID-19 task force led by Fire Department to ensure daily and weekly reporting to the Los Angeles County Disaster Management in Area E. We implemented the Great Plate program that provided food for eligible senior residents with the contracted services of our local eligible restaurants. Our Parks and Rec implemented a variety of Rec and Go bags and virtual program tutorials for the community. We increased social media and print communications about COVID safety measures and city responses. We've had multiple digital thermal scanners that were installed in each facility to read staff temperature. We also have touchless hand sanitizer dispensers that were installed in all city facilities. Masks have been made available to community members as a result of generous donors. And in response to the pandemic, Montebello bus lines also implemented safety services that adhere to public health social distancing directives to keep passengers and drivers safe, and offer the dial-a-taxi services to seniors and those in need of medical transportation. All of this is to say your city hall never stopped working. And although we remain close to the public due to pandemic safety concerns, we continue to actively serve our community members and businesses. The City Council is committed to ensure that the City of Montebello remains fiscally sound, and we have taken several steps to maintain a sustainable future. These action items are in response to a glaring state audit back in December of 2018 that revealed findings that resulted in designating Montebello as a high risk by the California State Auditor. In less than 2 years, we have made enormous strides to address and resolve these findings. This report identified 10 areas of weaknesses and offered 22 distinct recommendations to address the state's findings. Since that time, the majority of the recommendations have been implemented with significant progress made in all areas. Management services at the Montebello Golf Course were also changed as a result of the audit. The city has made great advances in resolving these recommendations and has submitted a progress report to the state. City management is committed to moving past the state's findings and implementing improvements above and beyond what was recommended. Key financial steps taken through formal City Council action include diversifying our investment portfolio and approving the issuance of bonds for street improvements and unfunded employee liabilities. We also adopted a general fund reserve policy to provide the insight necessary to make better financial decisions. These policies guide the categorization of available general fund reserves, setting clear priorities for marking and appropriating funding decisions. Establishing these policies was a critical accomplishment in offering transparency and demonstrates our commitment to maintaining sound financial practices that drive long-term stability for city operations and expenses. One major milestone to be noted here is that for the past 3 years, the city has been in the process of selling our water system. And it's very satisfying to share that we have nearly completed the sale process to San Gabriel Valley Water that will generate $15.8 million, with the city retaining its complete water rights. This cash influx will dramatically improve our budgeting efforts for the next fiscal year. As I mentioned, the city's fiscal bond issuance for vital infrastructure improvements created our Paving the Way project that launched earlier this year in a series of street improvement projects, and will continue over the next 2020-2021 fiscal year. This project introduced ARAM, asphalt rubber aggregate membrane technology, which is a highly cost-effective material expected to last 10 to 15 years or more. Montebello is the first city in the region to make use of this advanced, environment-friendly source paving material and process. Due to cost efficiencies in this process, we have been able to increase the number of city streets that can be repaved. At this time, we are on track to pave over 110 city streets and will be advancing the process to ancillary streets in the months ahead. I am thrilled to share that the city has eliminated the budget's structural deficit entering the 2020-2021 fiscal year. We closed the 2019 and 2020 fiscal year budget with a small surplus while improving our financial methodology. This accomplishment was achieved despite fiscal concerns created by the pandemic. It happened by examining budget proposals from all city departments over 3 separate city council meetings. This allowed the close and accurate examination of city needs before the council's final adoption of the budget. Now we continue to make operational improvements across our staffing and operations and enhance our internal controls. A stable and highly experienced management team is now in place and is committed to improving citywide operations and communications that will keep Montebello moving in a positive direction. As 2020 has evolved, it's been very important for us to maintain our fiscal dedication. We made major progress to correct our budget deficits, improve economic development, address our state audit report, and analyze the local and regional perceptions of Montebello. These are no easy tasks, but I must credit the hard work and dedication of our city manager, Renee Bobadilla, and his management team for leading the way and finding opportunities that will continue to move our city into a prosperous future. In Montebello, we are highly invested in growing our economy and enhancing the prosperity and quality of life for all residents. To empower potential and smart growth, the city entered into an agreement with Ranguala Associates to develop our general plan, something that has not happened since 1974 and is clearly long overdue. The general plan consists of citywide development policies with objectives, principal standards, and plan proposals that create a consistent long-term vision for future city growth over the next 2 years. The city's current cannabis program is comprised of 2 distribution centers located in the industrial south part of the city, non-residential facing. These businesses have already produced funding for several park projects, like the Holyfield parking lot, restroom improvements, lighting fixture upgrades, and more. We expect this program to continue generating funds for future improvement projects. It is no secret that our state is experiencing a housing crisis because not enough homes are being built, and the cost of buying and renting remains very high. A significant number of people use the majority of their income to pay for rent and mortgages. We want Montebello to offer a quality of life that is open and equitable to those who want to make our city their home. We believe Montebello's housing needs can be solved. Montebello has met with the State Housing and Community Development Department to ensure that we correct issues of concern in the city's housing element contained in our outdated general plan. The city submitted a complete housing element update to the HCD to ensure our compliance with state regulations. This is an enormous accomplishment since we had not submitted an update to this plan since the late 1990s. It's gratifying to share that not only was this achieved, but the city has been rewarded with several government grants totaling over $600,000 that will help us update our general plan document while reducing impact to the city budget. This is particularly significant accomplishment because Governor Newsom specifically called us out on our deficiencies in this area, and we have been able to correct course. I am pleased to see the Toll Brothers development gain traction as they received approval from the Planning Commission and City Council for the Montebello Hills Specific Plan Project BMAP Phase A. This includes the first phase consisting of 349 new residential dwelling units and related amenities. Over the past year, the city has made great progress to address deferred facility and capital maintenance projects that have been ignored far too long. As a result, numerous building improvements and repairs have been made or are in progress. In June, we contracted with ABM Building Solutions to repair and replace heating and air conditioning units, roofing, and lighting fixtures in most city buildings where these items were severely worn and inefficient. This project is already producing energy savings and will create $10 million in cost savings over the next 10 to 25 years. City Hall's leaky roof was replaced earlier this year, and we continue to assess and repair damage to ceilings, windows, and floors. The east wing of City Hall is currently under new office construction and renovation, and when complete later this November, will house our public affairs and fire department personnel. Montebello Fire and Police departments have been very happy recipients of investments in new and upgraded tools, equipment, and hardware to help them do their jobs more safely and efficiently. The fire department received a new firefighting engine that will deploy shortly. They also received upgrades to life-saving equipment such as metal saws, jaws of life, and new personnel fire protective turnouts. The City Council approved the purchase of several vehicles in the police, fire, code enforcement, and public work departments to replace obsolete fleet using a combination of drug forfeiture funds, AQMD grants, and reserves. On October 8th, we brought to fruition the Taylor Ranch Green Space Project, which was initiated more than a decade ago. This project's goal was to provide the community with a temporary but functional park, while funds are sought to eventually develop a Taylor Ranch Cultural Arts Center. The new park offers a beautiful green space featuring a picturesque pond, walkways, and gazebo feature. An official dedication took place to welcome the new public to enjoy their new recreational amenities, which include a basketball court and picnic areas. Until COVID restrictions are lifted, Taylor Ranch Park will only be available for passive use, as is currently the case with all other city parks. A top priority for the council this year was to identify more effective ways to proactively engage our community and residents. We recognize the immense impact community input and perceptions have on providing services to the public. Our goal is to provide timely, accessible information which promotes transparency in the city's decision-making process and outcomes. To help us enhance outreach, the city developed and delivered the My Montebello mobile phone app for both Android and Apple devices. Currently, we have over 2,000 downloads and have received over 3,000 requests for services. Anyone with this app can report an issue like park or city maintenance issues, trash or graffiti problems, and stay up to date on breaking news and upcoming city events. The app is tracked and monitored by our Public Works Department to ensure response rates and resolution of residents' concerns are promptly addressed. To expand, coordinate, and strategically maximize all city communication efforts, the city manager has developed a public affairs division within the administration department. The public affairs team is now led by a new deputy director of public affairs, who is already hard at work improving social media content, developing new communication tools and publications, and enhancing the city's digital communication footprint. In the months ahead, look for a redesigned and responsive city website to take shape, along with other new communications. Montebello has formed a strong partnership with the Los Angeles County to advance the promotion of the 2020 U.S. Census and general election voting. In a joint effort with several surrounding cities, Montebello participated in its first ever Census Caravan Parade last August and has promoted census information extensively through print, social media, and the My Montebello app. As the general election approaches, we will actively inform voters where they can cast their ballots to ensure as many people as possible can exercise their right to vote. To improve quality of life in Montebello, we were awarded a $400,000 grant by the Gateway Council of Governments to implement a homeless intervention plan. The fire department has already created its new project called the Montebello Community Assistance Program, or MCAP. This project is a collaborative effort between the City of Montebello, community-based organizations, local healthcare providers, and surrounding cities. MCAP's goal is to provide individuals experiencing homelessness with a dedicated, holistic intervention field team who have the proper resources and training to offer medical and mental health care to vulnerable homeless people. The major benefit of this program collaboration with Montebello Fire and Police is to reduce the time and effort for frontline officers and paramedics to intervene in cases that MCAP staff can't otherwise handle. Parks and open space are essential components of quality living. This City Council approved funds to develop a Parks and Facilities Master Plan being led by the Recreation and Community Service Department. This will ensure Montebello's public park experience dramatic improvements in green space use, infrastructure, and recreational amenity improvements. As both these planning updates take place, the public and interested parties will be notified and invited to provide input to make this a robust and transparent process. Further, the Facilities Master Plan will identify facility and maintenance needs at all city-owned non-park facilities to guide the City's Council's future budget decisions. Another path of great importance is Montebello's Transit-Oriented Development, or TOD. While road improvements and maintenance are a continuous process and challenge, we also need to bring more commuting options to the public. To facilitate this, City Council has joined the Washington Boulevard Coalition of Cities. This group supports a light rail line that would move people from East Los Angeles to Whittier via Atlantic and Washington Boulevards. As a key member of this coalition, Montebello now has an influential voice in the future of local public transit. It's important to note that Montebello bus lines will celebrate their 90th year of service in 2021. Our transportation system is the third largest municipal bus operation in Los Angeles County. As I come to the end of this update, I can't help but emphasize that while much has been achieved this past year, The journey is never over. Your city is committed to finding new and innovative ways to adapt, grow, and enhance our collective future. Some of our future plans include sharing the outcome and rewards of the 3/4 cents sales tax passed in Measure H, expanding our use of technology to introduce virtual City Hall services and a new city website, exploring opportunities to reimagine Montebello Country Club and golf facilities, and adopt a robust and innovative general plan. Lastly, I can't leave you without noting we are now celebrating the city's 100-year anniversary, kicking off a year's worth of activities and events with a Centennial Caravan on October 17th. To balance COVID concerns, with regard to public gatherings, the city has devised strategies for virtual and public participation in events throughout the next 12 months. I hope to see you participate safely in all the wonderful programming we have in store. If it's not already up, I encourage you to look for vibrant new signs and banners celebrating the city's 100th anniversary year, and hope that you will follow us and join in the many socially distanced activities that are planned. As we go forward, we rely on the most valuable resources we have for success. That is each other. I am proud of the many accomplishments shared with you in this report, and that our City Council, city management, staff, and community partners have made possible in the past year. On behalf of the City of Montebello and the Montebello Chamber of Commerce, I thank you all for your continued partnership as we work to deliver the quality of life elements our residents want, need, and deserve. My final ask of you all is to stay up to date with breaking city news and information by signing up for the city communications. We don't want you to miss all the important information we have coming your way. To sign up, please visit our city website today. Thank you for your time and attention. Let's all continue to be safe and thrive together, Montebello.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. It sounds like on the occasion of the city's 100th anniversary, we have a lot to celebrate. It's exciting to see our city moving in a positive direction on so many fronts. At the Montebello Chamber of Commerce, our board and staff know that given the public health and economic issues this year has served up to us, our community still faces a challenging road ahead, but we're also confident and optimistic that by working together and supporting one another, we can come through stronger than ever. I'd like to take a quick moment now to thank the generous sponsors who made this event possible. Presenting sponsor, Chevron Corporation. Statesman level sponsors, California Water Service, Infrastructure Engineers, San Gabriel Valley Water Company, and Southern California Edison. Patriot level sponsor, Athens Services, and Loyalist level sponsor, SoCal Gas. And we also, ABM Building Solutions will also be a sponsor for this event. I do want to point out that Infrastructure Engineers is the company that executed the renovation of the Taylor Ranch Park and Cultural Arts Center, which we just heard about. A big thank you to all our sponsors for helping to bring this program to you today. Thank you to Michael Chi at the City of Montebello for all of his hard work. I also want to thank our staff members, Adriana Dugan and Celine Kalanock, as well as some special friends, Vanessa Stinnett, Joe Sandoval, and Raul Guerrero, who put their heads together to help us overcome some technical challenges. And thank you to all of you who are watching and who make up this resilient community. We hope you're uplifted and inspired by the update we've heard today, and that you and yours stay safe and healthy until we meet again. Thank you, and happy centennial to all of us.